Okay, welcome everyone. Again, this is Claudia and Donna Landy, and we are going to teach you the Strong Start call number 2. And before we do that, I'm going to share my screen and just give you a couple of organizational tips on how to keep track of all your team members. You know, eventually, as your team grows, you might not remember who said what, so we want to make sure you're able to keep track of it. So I use Evernote. Again, you can use a binder and have different subcategories. So I have a folder, which could be a folder in your binder or a binder, a team binder. And in my team binder right here, you will see I have like my directors, and then I have my personal team, people that I recruit in. Or someone that's on my personal team that doesn't have a director, people in their first 30 days and people in their first 90 days. And what I do is, as soon as they join, for example, this girl right here, I have this little checklist to make sure they get all the basics that they needed. Welcome email, are we friends on Facebook, are they added to my organizational page or my personal page? If they're local, are they added to our local page? Are they added to the new consultant page, the training page? Did we do call number 1, call number 2, call number 3, call number 4? And then I copied this right here from Consultant Connection, the performance tracker. So I have their phone number handy, obviously, if I need to call them, their email, the 30 and the 90-day end date. So that's always right there. And then I just write their date. And as I'm talking to them on these calls, I have one window open with notes and the other window has the script. So I can type notes and talk to them at the same time. And then, just a little section right here and then off to the next call. And just anytime I talk to anybody on my team, I write it down somewhere so I can keep track of it. And again, same folder like on call number 1. So now we're moving on to call number 2, second call, 48 hours after the first call. So after we challenge them to go out and get 6 bookings, we are going to continue with call number 2. All right, Donna Consultant, are you ready?
Ready.
And let me add, I do like to do these new consultant calls via Zoom if possible. I just feel like you can build a better connection. So if you can and you are using Zoom, I just highly recommend you do that, and you really start to get to know people. So, all right,
yeah.
Well,
you get your own Zoom free.
Yes, yeah, you can.
Don't use my Zoom.
No, don't use our Zoom. You can get your own Zoom for free for 40 minutes, and these calls are designed for about 30 minutes. So it'll keep you on track to not run over too. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Donna, I'm so excited we're chatting today. So how are things going? How did your little challenge go? How many parties did you book?
Well, I only booked one. My house has been crazy. My 2-year-old got sick. I had to do work overtime. I just didn't have enough time.
Okay, so we got one more party booked than we had 48 hours ago, right?
Yeah, I got my friend Kathy's going to do a virtual party.
Awesome. So that's super, super exciting. So one more than we had a couple, days ago. So that's super exciting. So way to go. Even if you had, a crazy life, you still got one party book. And obviously it sounded like your kids were sick and, work was crazy. So do you think we could kind of like reset the clock and get the other ones in the next 48 hours? Do you think like life's going to calm down?
Oh yeah, no, that would be awesome. I actually feel like I have some time tonight to.
Okay, good. So
if no one else gets sick.
Yeah, so let's hope no one else gets sick, and I'll definitely check back in with you in 2 days to see, how the rest of the 5 parties are coming along and if we got some dates. Okay.
Okay. That's great.
So in the meantime, though, let's talk about your grand opening party or your virtual launch party. So how are invites going for that?
Good. I sent an email to everybody to tell them to hold the date. I set up a Facebook event like you said.
Okay, good. So we have a Facebook event. Everyone knows to save the date. So, obviously as you're going back to your little challenge of the next 48 hours, anyone that says, no, they don't want to have a party, make sure you personally invite them to your local launch or your virtual launch as well. Right? And just keep on that launch list. Make sure that anyone on that launch list gets invited either to your local launch or your virtual launch.
Should I invite them to both? Like
No. No, I wouldn't invite them to both. So if they're local, they get an invite to the local one. And if for one reason or another they can't make your Friday or your Saturday local launch party, then they can get an invite to the virtual one.
Okay.
Since you're going to do cooking shows, I would stick with that. Obviously, if you were just a virtual consultant, we would invite everyone to your virtual launch party.
Okay, so should I set up a separate event for my Saturday party or just leave it for Friday?
Nope, I would just set up your event for Friday and then personally reach out to those people that can come and just send them a message and say, hey, I'm having a couple of people over Saturday as well. Would that work better for you?
Okay.
We do want to have most of the people on Friday, and then the couple stranglers, we'll put them in for Saturday.
Okay.
Okay. So awesome. Yeah. So keep plugging along on that invite list, and let's pack the house, and let's definitely pack that virtual event as well.
So what will I cook?
What are you going to cook? That's a good question. So we have a little bit of time before your party. So our next call will go exactly over the cooking show. But in the meantime, use the recipes that came in your kit, play with them, practice them, feed your family with them. I believe you got the big kit. So if you got the big kit, my favorite is the bruschetta pasta. That's a crowd pleaser. It's amazing. But any recipe you got in your kit is designed to go with the products that you have. So there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, to go out and find a recipe. That's why Pampered Chef suggests certain recipes, because they show off your products and they're just crowd pleasers. So that's what I would do. I would just start experimenting with that.
The bruschetta pasta, is that the one with the zucchini?
It is, yes.
Okay.
And the grilled chicken too.
Okay.
So after we talked last time, I sent you a follow-up email. So in that email was a flyer called the Fast Track Program flyer. Did you get a chance to look at that?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, that's fine. So let me ask you this. If you walked into a room and you saw $2,000 in cash laying on the table, and I said that could be yours, would you turn around and walk out, or would you want to know what you needed to do to have that $2,000?
I want to know.
Right? Why would you walk away from $2,000 cash? So last time we talked about the 90-day rewards period and your 100 Pampered Chef dollars and stuff that you can earn. So this time, since it sounds like you have definitely a couple people that want to have parties, we just got to reach out to them. I want to tell you about the Fast Track program, which is another reward program that you have in your first 6 months of business. So as you start adding people to your team, you can promote to the first management level at Pampered Chef, which is called a director level. And when you do that in your first 90 days in business, the first cash reward will be $500. So since your first 90 days end May 1st, you actually have the whole entire May to promote to director and earn a $500 cash bonus. So if right now we're training you as a new consultant, but if you want to be trained as a future leader in this company right away, and you are interested in sharing this business with as many people as you can, then, we definitely want to start talking about the Fast Track program. And you know what? Why not take all the money that Pampered Chef offers to you, right? So what are you thinking about that? Do you think that's something you want to maybe consider?
Yeah, absolutely. What do I have to do?
Well, what you have to do is making sure we have shows on your calendar, and obviously actively talking to us and, getting the training that you need, and then offering others the business. So it's one thing to book parties, but it's the other thing to start bringing in team members. So, my first challenge for you would be to add 1 or 2 team members in your first 30 days and ask your friends, or again, ask anyone that's in the same situation as you, or someone you just want to work with that's fun, those people, and just ask them to, hey, I just jumped in and joined Pampered Chef. Why don't you do this with me? And just see what they say. And then if they're interested, we can always set up like a 3-way call where I can do a call with you and them and help answer any questions for them. So do you think you want to check with a couple people about maybe trying Pampered Chef?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, yeah. So let's start, working on a list for that. And then as we go along in your training, we can definitely get more into that. But just so you know, there's a special program for people that want to grow their team right away. Okay.
I have to sign up for it, or is it just?
Well, you don't have to sign up for it. As you know, get shows and you're starting to get that airplane off the ground, we will support you. We will talk to you before and after every party. We will talk to you about, you know, who is a potential, who came to your party that might be interested. And once the ball starts rolling, we do have a special group, our Direct-A-Bond group, that we add people to when they're ready to, you know, hit the ground running with this business and promote to director.
Okay.
Okay, so now when you look at your launch list, obviously you're going to have people that want to host, but you know, let's think of some people that could benefit from Pampered Chef. So you really want to look at your launch list and say and think to yourself, you know, who do I know that is in the same situation as me? Or who could use some extra income? Or who loves to cook? Or who's just that Pampered Chef addict that loves our products? So we want to make sure we invite those people to your grand opening party. Or, you know, if you're local, you can bring them to our recipe night or a team training, which again is the first Monday of every month. And, you know, if the conversation allows, just mention it to them when you're inviting them to your grand opening party, whether it's virtual or local. And you can say something like this, like, hey, I'm having so much fun with Pampered Chef and I'd love to have you do this with me. What do you say? Can you come to my party and check it out? Or, hey, can you look at these starter kits? Which one is catching your eye? Or, hey, can you come to our local team meeting and meet the girls that I'm working with? Or again, I thought of you because I know you want your kids to go to camp too, but you know, you're having a rough time coming up with the money. Why don't we do this together and make this our goal? Or I think this could be a good fit for you because, oh my God, you're like so outgoing and you post about, you know, recipes and food all the time on your Facebook. Why not make money? So do you feel like that's something you can do? Reach out to a couple people and offer them the Pampered Chef business?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can.
So just start thinking about, you know, how this business, why you started, you know, why you started, the goals that you have, and just don't hold it to yourself. Just make sure you offer it to everyone. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, maybe my friend Kathy might want to do it with me.
Yeah, good. And how fun would that be, right? If you guys could show up to meetings together and be on the same Zooms and, you know, train together and stuff like that. So it's a really good thing to bring on a buddy. So what I want to talk about today on this call is really talk about host coaching, or we like to also call it host encouraging. So, and basically, you know, what that means is it just takes as much time for you busy lady, right, to do a little show as it does a big one. Whether you leave your house and it's a $200 party or $1,000 party, it takes the same time. Or whether you're doing a virtual party and you post every day, and that virtual party ends up not qualifying, or it's $1,000 party, you still spend the same time at every party, right? So what we want to know is that every host wants to be successful. They want to have a great show, but they just don't know the little, you know, fine points of having a successful show. So, you know, a host, one of your future hosts who's going to feel like unsure, uncomfortable of what to do, they're more likely to cancel on you, okay? Because they're like, I don't know what I just signed up for. But a host who feels successful, they were going to tell their friends how easy it was to host, you know, how much stuff they got for free, how fun it was, and they're going to encourage future bookings and help you get bookings as well. So when you look at host coaching, it's really just a simple collaboration between you and your host. You're like partners in crime, right? So your host is counting on you to have a successful show. And just remember, this is like their one shot for a little while to get as many free products as possible. And it's not something you're doing to them, it's more something you're doing for them, right? So why not spoil your host as much as you can? And I know like your first parties are probably going to be someone, you know, in your family or your friends. So it might be a little uncomfortable to coach them because they're going to be like, no, Donna, I got this. You know, I know you, I got it. So to make it a little bit more comfortable, you can just ask them for permission to practice like some host coaching words, or some scripts on them, that you can find like on like Pampered Chef University. Okay, so just a little tip on that in case you have that family member that won't let you host coach them. Okay, so just a few important things to remember is getting guests to the party, whether they're virtual and they got to get as many people to click go in, or whether it's a physical party and we want as many people to walk in the door. That's your number one, that's the host's number one priority, is to get as many people as we can to the party, right? We always want to remind our hosts to use a variety of ways to invite people from a variety of areas in their life. So make sure that your hosts know to not only rely on Facebook alone for inviting, even if it's a Facebook party, okay? So I always tell them, I'm like, Facebook is a great little reminder, but a lot of things get lost in the Facebook world. We get notifications, we don't see anything. So give them some postcard invites that came on your kid. Send them, you can use an app called Rat Stamp. That's a free app that you can download. You can make cute little invitations. Ask them to pick up the phone. Ask them to hand out personal invitations. So do not just solely rely on Facebook, and you're going to see that people are going to come from all kinds of different areas in their life. So how do you feel about this host coaching thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
Okay. And something we always like to say is that we make our money during host coaching. We just go pick it up at the party. So just remember that investing a little bit of time into prepping your host and coaching them to a successful party, you're going to reap the benefits when you show up for it. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk to you about real quick today is in the email I sent you after the last call, there was a little flyer that said my story that I emailed you. And what we want to talk about is that my story is really the story you're going to write that you're going to share, whether virtual or local, that's going to help you connect with your guests. So not only will it create interest in our business opportunity, but it's also going to help them feel more comfortable inviting you into their home to meet their friends and family for a party, right? It gives them a reason to connect to you. It gives them this is Claudia, this is what she does, she has kids and all that. It's another reason for them to connect to you. So you really want to work on filling that out, and it shouldn't be 10 minutes, it should just be a couple minutes for you to share your story at your launch party, future parties, or virtual parties. Okay, did you get to work on that at all yet?
I didn't. I did look at those questions, but I didn't get a chance to look to do that.
Okay, so we'll add that to the to-do list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other thing, I would love for you to do is to come observe one of my parties since you're local, because it really helps to come to at least 2 to 3 parties to really see, a loud party, a quiet party, different kitchens, different, same recipe. So, if I can send you my next 3 available dates and you can kind of see if you can come tag along. But that is one of the best ways to learn a cooking show, is to see it live. Now, if you're a virtual consultant, right, we can do the same thing. So, I would love for you to just come check out 1 or 2 of my virtual parties, just kind of see the interaction that's going on, and just see how the host is interacting in my posts and stuff like that. So I'm going to add you to my next virtual party so you can see it from the beginning and kind of observe, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, okay, so what we want to do is, just send you a little bit more training on host coaching, send you a little tracker. You do want to start tracking your hosts, because eventually you might forget, who got a packet, who's inviting your Facebook. So I'm going to send you a little host coaching tracker, and send that in the email here in a little bit. And we want to really, what I want to do, I want to talk to you before your launch party, a couple days before your launch party, so we can really talk about what are you going to do during that launch party, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're virtual, we want to talk a couple days before we start your virtual party as well, or before you start your own first virtual party, to really make sure we have the host coaching down and it's going to be a successful party. So, so your local launch party is March 10th. So why don't we talk like 3 days before that? Maybe I could probably do the Tuesday, March 7th. And I know you think that's a work day for you. So maybe we could do it after the kids go to bed, like 8:30.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
sounds
So
good.
yeah, so I'll pencil you in and I'll send you the Zoom, obviously. So I'll follow up now with an email. I'll shoot that over real quick. So really try and go through those emails I send you step by step. They are really designed to make sure you get your business off the ground. And I will check back in with you in 48 hours to make sure you got, those parties on your books to, get this business off the ground. So are there any questions you have for me?
No, I'm excited. I'm gonna try and get all that done tonight.
All right. Well, you have a successful, busy night tonight, and I will talk to you in a couple days and check in about this parties. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.
So after this call, they get the second training email. All right. Hey, we finished your second training. You're off to a great start. Here's your homework for our next call. Take the host coaching course on Pampered Chef University. Watch the video on the virtual party training. Complete monthly host coaching tracking. Write your story with bullet points. And complete all the steps on getting started checklists through when your kids arrive. So it has the host coaching tracker. It's got the little like Frank's list, host coaching 101, what goes in their planner, 5-15-5, and it just got everything about host coaching. Now at this point, if they are a solely virtual party, I do have my virtual party training, Facebook Parties 101 with YouTube videos, post my party template, all that in here. So they might get that at that point as well. Okay, if they're doing virtual parties. All right. So any questions?
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them.
All right, so this completes call number 2.
Okay.
Turn on.
Awesome.